I'm just going to give a demo on Playwright. So what are all the advantages we have seen in Playwright? So for Playwright, what are the advantages we have in Playwright when we compare to other automation tools in the case for Cypress and when we compare to Cypress and Selenium. So in Cypress, it will be support only a couple of programming languages. Cypress will support TypeScript and JavaScript alone. And when we go for Selenium, like it would be supporting multiple programming languages. So in Selenium, we need the configuration. It would be taking much time when we compare to Playwright. And also for in Selenium, we need to depends on multiple plugins and all. And also like the execution for execution, you may depend on other drivers like the Jaco driver, Chrome driver, and all. But in Cypress and Playwright, it will be automatically interact with the browsers. So that's the reason we prefer to go with Playwright. A lot of projects was moving to Playwright nowadays, and also Playwright will be supporting multi-parallel execution as well. So which is the advantage of a Playwright. So let's start that. So for that, we just need to install VS Code in our local machine. So in that, I just add an um, folder. So I just have a node installed on my machine. So I don't have any other things in machine. For node, we can just go to the directly to the node.js and we can just click on download and we can just click on the next steps which will be installing the node in our machine. So then from here, just go to the command line. So to install now Playwright, we're just using this command. If you go to the official website of Playwright.dev, so once we land in this Playwright.dev, and just click on the get started. From here, they will be given on for every steps here. So we just copy this command and just paste it over the terminal. So Playwright it will be supporting Python, Java, and TypeScript and JavaScript. Here, JavaScript and TypeScript both are the scripting language. We can choose anything from that. So those configurations we will be just doing from the command line itself. So we can choose the programming language and also so from where we need to keep our test scripts and all. So I just selecting JavaScript and here if you want to specific any particular folder, so we can just mention that one here. And if you have any GitHub actions or flow, you're going to configure with the Git, we can just select yes, or else select true, or else we can just set with the false. And once we can just enter, it will be start installing Playwright in our machine. So it's going to start now. So it will be installing all the required drivers, all the required browsers and all. Since Playwright will be supporting Chromium, which is nothing, which is Chrome, and also it will be supporting the WebKit. WebKit is same as Safari, which we'll be using in the iOS or Mac machines, and also it will be supporting Firefox as well. So the installation has been completed. So in Playwright, let me just given a small example as well. So here we can just see how it will be created. So it will be started with the import, test, and expect. Test is nothing but it's our test scripts. We have a couple of test scripts here, and expect is an assertions which we're going to perform after some actions which has been completed in the web page. And the install, we just it will map with the at Playwright test. And from here we will be having the test. We have two testers. So here we're going to see what we going to perform in this particular test, like those things we can add in the title. And since Playwright has been built on top of JavaScript. So we need to use the asynchronization commands in all the test scripts. And await command we need to use in every steps which we're going to perform. If you don't use the await, the control it would be not sure. Like I mean, need to wait. I mean, or not. So what happen if you don't give the await? Like it will just start launching this application in the browser, and immediately like before the application has been loaded to the browser, it will be just execute the next command from here. So which will be like I mean by default like the application is not loaded, so it maybe end up with the tail test failures. So for that reason we will be just using the await, like it is just an promises. So the promises is nothing but like an script. It may be the it may accept or else reject the promise. So then only it will be moved to the next step. So if the application has been not loaded in the browser, in the case like the test script it may will be automatically failed. So it will be not moved to the another step. Suppose if the promise if it has been accepted and the application has been loaded successfully, so then it will be moved to the next step. So in this way it will be working. So in a Playwright, it will be supporting multiple locators as well. So here we just, I mean, in the Playwright just given this locator like get by role. So get by role in the case like will be just the role of this particular locator is leave, and the name of the particular locator is get started, and we'll just clicking on that one. And other things like we have multiple scripts which will be putting in the demo to do app.spec.js. And the package of JSON, like here we'll be having our playwright test and type node and all. So those are all the important things like the development since it will be added automatically. And here comes the playwright configuration file. So it plays a major role in the scripts. So here we can set our base URL and all everything from we can say configure here. So this directly which we mentioned, I mean we by default it will be stored in the test. If in our case like if we need to keep in some different place, we can just configure that one from here itself. And also like the format, in which format you need, so those things also you can configure from here. And as I earlier mentioned, like the playwright it will be support the full parallel execution, like we can run multiple test scripts at the same time based on our machine capacity. So we can set those things in the worker. And other things like this is for an CI/CD pipelines, and also like this is for the retries. So in case it is failures, we can ask the player to run one more time or two more times the scripts. So one is for CI/CD, and another thing is for an local run. And workers, as I mentioned, like if you're setting the workers to two, the two test scripts it will be running at the same time. If you're setting the workers as five, it will be running five test scripts at the same time, but it will be taking the memory of the machine as well. And for reporting, so by default it will be giving the HTML report. And also if we need to use some other report, we can configure that one as well. Like it will be supporting the JSON report, XML report, and also so we can configure those things here. So here we'll be having the use. So in use only, like we just going to configure our base URL. So if we're setting the base URL here, it will be applicable for all the test scripts which we have. So we just what we need to mention was like page.goto, and we can just give a single slash. So it will be just pick the base URL from the config file and the traces. So which is another feature of Playwright. Traces means like we can able to see the results on the real time, like so just before I mean clicking some button, how the screen would it would be, and after clicking the particular button how the screen looks. And also like if we selecting some drop downs, so for every actions it will be going to capture the and placing the traces. So the traces it will be storing in our frame inside the root folder only. And if you want to set map the traces to some other places, we can do that. So once the trace execution has been completed, the traces file will be stored here. We can just go to the Playwright website, and we just have need to upload the traces to the particular place, and then we can able to see all the results over there. So we can just set those things based on our requirement. We can off the traces on, or else like we can just set on first retry, or we can set on all retries, or on for on in the case like it will be the traces will be captured for every executions. So here we have the project specific browsers and all. So here by default it will be giving three browsers like Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. So and also like other browsers also it will be supporting like in the viewport, mobile Chrome, mobile Safari and all. So based on our requirement, we can uncommand those things. If we don't need other things, like we can just command the Firefox and WebKit, and we can just run in only Chrome itself. And for recently, they launched an mobile testing as well using emulator, but it's an test way, like it is not properly working. So just they're still working on that one. So this is the basic structure which was provided by Playwright. So to run the test script, like what we need to do was like I just try to run only this. So we can just give the command npx playwright test. It will be automatically picking these particular example.spec.js, and it will be running from there. By default, like for now we don't change any configuration, so it will be running in three different browsers: Chrome, Firefox, and WebKit as well. And by default, it will be running in the headless mode. We can see only the results. If we need to run the test scripts in the headed mode, we can configure that one as well. And also, like if we don't need to run the test scripts in parallel mode, we can just set this one to the false, and it will be not running in the parallel. So the execution has been completed. So once the execution completed, we just need to run this command in the from the terminal. So here we can see the results. So that's it. So in case of failures, we will be seeing the screenshots. If you need the screenshot on the past scripts as well, so we can configure that one as well. So everything we can configure from this playwright config file. And I just take one particular website for sample purpose. I'm just getting the located for the username, so we can just using the placeholder here. So to type something, we need to use the command dot fill. So after login, like we just try to make sure like we have log into this particular page or not. So for that, I just using the assertion is visible, and I just try to run in only in one browser. So just disabling other browsers, Firefox and WebKit. Just set the thing. So I just configure that one and to run in the header mode. So I'm just using the same command npx playwright test. So here we can see like one test script has been skipped, and another test script has been run and is passed. So the results we can see in the report. So all the commands which we perform, all the actions which we perform, we can see in the result. And we have other things to run as well. So suppose if you need to run to the test runner, we can just configure npx playwright test fnf UI. So it will be opening an test runner for us. So this is a test runner. So here we can see all our test scripts here. Like for now we have two test scripts. So if you need to run only this one, like you can just click on this one. So it will be start running. You can see the things actions here as well from here as well. So from anywhere we can see. So other things like we have another option called debug. If you're not sure like so what the action which we're going to perform. So at the time what we do was like we just uh, put the command hyphen debug. So it will be just opening the browser and also like it will be giving an debug option as well for us. So the inspector it will be opening. So if we just click on this button, like it will just start and execute every commands. So if you clicking on the step forward, if you click on that one, like it will be opening, and I mean it will run the first line of code, and it will be waiting in the next line, and it will just showing like what is the next command which is going to run. And if you click on that one, like it will just entering the username there, and then it will be moved to the another place, and it will be just showing us like what the next action it's going to perform. It will be just filling and click, and once it is done, like it will be just showing us like to this particular place it is visible. So once we click this one, like it will just stop. In case if we, I mean for the same thing, like if you need to record something or if you're going to perform some other actions, we can just place this debug on, and show that. So I just launch the URL, and I can use the option called record. So if we click on this record, so here I just typing user, and the next page I just enter password, and I just try and to click on this one, like and I've seen this username and password does not match. It does not match and is a user in this service. So the recorder has stopped, and I can able to see all the actions which I have performed. So I just click on this username button, and I just enter field admin user, and I just press the tab button to move to the next uh, locator, next text field, and I enter the password and I click on the login button, and I just click on the data test error button as well. So those things we can see in the record. If you need to copy these things, like we can just copy and paste it in our local test scripts, and from there also we can run it. So if there we have like a dark one. So this is the basic test script, and I mean for other steps, like we can just see in the Playwright official website itself. So what and all things it will be supporting. So it supports the uh, how we can run our test scripts. So the basic thing which is it has been given, and also like the generating test, like which I have shown you now, like using the record test. So once we click on this particular record button, like I mean record, it will be start generating code for us. And once the code has been completed, we can run it through the. And also in case of failures, we can just use the debug option. We can and also we can able to debug that one as well. So those things we can see in going forward, like one by one in a complete way, because actually like in everything we have lot of options which should be there. So to record the test and run in the UA mode, headed mode, headless mode, and also we can run for any particular browser or particular test, or else we can run only the failed test as well. So those things it will be available in the running and debugging test, and the trace viewers. So trace viewer. So how to? I mean, as I mentioned, like once the record execution has been completed, we can able to see the traces. So those traces we can open from here. Like what we need to do is like once the traces has been generated, we can just paste it over. Um, yeah, from here. So we need to paste our trace files here, and it will be opening the traces for us, and we can able to give all the actions which we performed. And the setup with any pipelines like GitHub Actions or Jenkins, everything was easy in Playwright. So we can just configure those things from the uh, using these commands, which will be provided here. And we need to create an Playwright.yaml file. So mostly like for JavaScript and TypeScript, we prefer to use VS Code, because actually like it will be having a lot of I mean it will be giving us a lot of suggestions as well. And the canary releases, like so it is an upcoming releases from Playwright, like but it is not a stable one. If you need to explore, like we can just use these canary releases, so we can see the next upcoming release from Playwright. So other things are like, it is not recommended to use the test data, hardcoded test data. So for that purpose, we'll be using the fixtures. So fixtures in the case, like we be keeping our test data in a separate file. Mostly we used to keep our test data in XML, JSON files. So from there we used to call those test data into our test scripts. So from there we can pass it. So in that way, like we can reduce the frequent edit inside our test script. We can just edit our only the JSON files. And also like in the parallelization, as I mentioned, like we can scripts at the same time. And also like we have the annotations and all. So annotations, like we can just if you don't need to run a test script, particular test script, we can just skip it. And if you need to fail any particular test script, we can just mention that one as test fail, like it will be automatically fail. And also if you need to fix any particular test script, you can use this option called fix me. Or else like so some test script, we need to run in a slow mode, like sometimes after entering the username and password, like it would be taking a lot more time to load. At the time, we can use the option test loop. It will be slow down our test execution, and as I had mentioned, like the test as slow and triple the test timeout as well. Suppose if you mention the timeout as 10 seconds, it will be make the wait for 30 seconds. So those things are also available here. So those things we can see going forward.